Hi, welcome to the Evolutionary Fitness channel, Train, Don't Strain, with me, Mountain Jace. This is the third video in my Concise Foundations of Fitness series. Its aim is to help you climb to the very peak of your fitness potential using my evolutionary techniques. Anyway, time is precious, so let's jump straight in. Heartbreaking as it is to see, the vast majority, perhaps 9 out of 10 people who train in a gym, never managed to take their muscles into the all-important debilitation zone. This is the vital threshold beyond which the body recognizes that great chunks of muscle fiber have been micro-torn through intense activity, and as a result is compelled to build back better. Below this cutoff, all exercise merely gets put into the general maintenance category, which means a muscle is only repaired back to its previous state of fitness and no more. As mentioned in episode 2, it's vitally important that everyone understands that the body fundamentally doesn't want you to train. It was designed to pass a weight's force through bone rather than expensive to power and repair muscle. You have to break this cycle to access the full potential available from training. This leads me to the foundational statement that relative weight, as felt by the muscle, is all that matters. If you put 50 kilograms on a bar, but train in such a way that this force hardly ever leaves your bones, or is being whipsawed by your body mass, there is no mechanism by which a muscle will be taken into the debilitation zone. The next foundational truth that is absolutely vital to understand is how to hit a muscle. Chase the burn, as they say. For not knowing how to do this is like learning to play the piano without learning to read music or know how the keys work. So let me give you a clear and relatively concise analogy. Let's take training the bicep, but this applies to all parts of the body. There are 2 variables we have to respect in order to train into the D zone. It has length and breadth. For now, I'm just going to concentrate on the former, a long line of muscle fibers going from the top of your arm down to your elbow. Visualize the bicep as a staircase made up of 25 individual steps. On each step, there is a pressure sensor that is connected to a specific light bulb at the top. 25 steps and 25 light bulbs. When each of these pressure pads receive enough force, the corresponding light bulb at the top is illuminated. How long the light shines for is a function of how much pressure is applied and for how long up to a maximum brightness. Okay, so that's the framework under which every muscle operates, what I call the stairway to Heavenly Gainz. Simple as it is, the majority of gym goers seem oblivious to this fact by cheat training in a way that guarantees only a few light bulbs for a very short space of time ever get turned on. What they are doing, in effect, is racing up the stairs 5 at a time, meaning at best, when they reach the top, only 5 bulbs are illuminated and therefore 20 remain off. Or, put another way, 80% of the muscle is untrained. This is not sufficient to force a muscle into the D zone. But it gets even worse. Because of the speed necessary to all but fly up the steps, the pressure pads are only briefly engaged, meaning that the corresponding light bulb comes on quickly and then goes off quickly. This means that by the time the last one is illuminated, the first 1 or 2 have already turned themselves off. As I say, this very limited signaling is nowhere near enough to compel the body to use precious resources to ensure that your muscles are repaired, stronger and fitter. But hold on to your dumbbells. There's more bad news. The very same people who perfect the art of running up the stairs in this manner then go on to slide down the banisters all the way back again. That is to say, on the negative portion of the bicep curl, they simply turn off their muscle engagement and let gravity pull the bar down to its lowest point. This means that no light bulbs receive a second injection of energy. And without it, all the bulbs are off ahead of the start of the second repetition, leaving the brain in darkness as to the fact that someone thinks they are training their biceps. That's why so many people either get basically no muscular development after the first few months of joining a gym, their bodies perfect the cheat method rather than following my evolutionary system to turn on all 25 bulbs, or they end up doing lots and lots of sets on multiple machines that basically target the same muscle. Thus people do squats, deadlifts, leg presses and lunges one after another, obtaining only a small fraction of the available benefit from each. When you approach a machine, you should upload into your conscious mind that the objective ahead of you is simple. Get 25 bulbs to stay on for as long as possible from each repetition. Without this happening, it doesn't matter how heavy you put the weights or how much grunting you make so that other people see how much weight you've stacked on the bar or machine. It'll all be for nothing. When you walk away from a machine, if you have taken a muscle into the D zone, you'll be rewarded. If you haven't, you won't. It's as simple as that. It's your call. Anyway, see you on the next Mountain Jace's climb to peak fitness.